Hello, and welcome back to Ranking of Saturn, episode 41? 41. Today we have 3 more games to play, and unlike last episode, these 3 games are good. All 3 of them, I would say, are at least good. There's definitely a very obvious pecking order to them, but I would say even the worst of the 3 games we're going to look at today is still at least good. The first game we are going to look at is a racing game. It is a return to a franchise we have not seen since episode 1. It is a game that, when we looked at it all the way back in episode 1, the game was still quite fun to play and extremely charming, but had some very obvious technical shortcomings compared to the arcade original. And what we're going to look at today is Sega's attempt to try and make up for that disappointment. The game is, of course, Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition. So, let me stick the headphones on. Send away the list, bring up the capture, and let's get on with it. Championship Circuit Edition is a divisive game among Daytona USA fans. Most agree that it is a significant improvement on the original Saturn port, but it also has some very specific shortcomings that we will get into as we play. I'm hoping that all of you can notice the immediate visual improvement and the frame rate improvement. This game boasts much improved visual fidelity, better frame rate, better draw distance, more tracks, more cars, just all-round graphical and fidelity-wise improvements across the board. On a technical level, this game is a massive improvement over the first attempt at porting this to the Saturn. Okay, so if you don't remember what the original version looked like, I can show you. Let's all remember together what the original version of Daytona USA looked like. Hopefully you are reminded of what the original port looks like and runs like. It's not a terrible game. It still plays like Daytona USA, and it has the all-important visual style and soundtrack of Daytona USA. It has the charm. The charm is there. But yeah, it is on a technical standpoint, this was a really rough port. Which hopefully the very brief look back at this has helps you appreciate the improvements on display here. 25 frames a second is not considered a good frame rate, but my god, is it way more acceptable than 12.5. Oh my god. Anyway, let's get into the game. This is a dual resolution game. All the menus are displayed at high resolution interlaced, where the in-game racing is 240p. Progressive scan. Low resolution progressive scan. And so, before we play the game, let's talk about the reasons why people don't like this version of the game. There are two major reasons. One of them bigger than the other, but they're both very important. Let's start with the lesser of the two. The less important reason people don't like this game. The handling in this game has been altered in a way that makes it play noticeably differently to the arcade original and the original Saturn version. For all the faults of the original Saturn version, it played just like the arcade game. The handling was basically identical to the arcade game. Which is very important to people who like the original arcade game. The handling has been tweaked somewhat for this, so it doesn't play exactly. The car feel doesn't feel the same as it does in the original arcade version, and some people take exception to that. I personally don't care. I personally think this game straight up plays better than the original arcade version. Because I said all the way back in episode 1 that I've never been good at original Daytona USA because I can never get my brain around the car handling. There's just something about the way the cars feel in that original game that I just can't get used to. I can't get comfortable to the steering. I can't get comfortable to the twitchiness of the cars. The cars are extremely twitchy in that game. To the point where I find playing that game almost impossible with a standard controller, almost impossible. If I'm going to play original Daytona USA, I have to play it with a wheel. I have to have analog control because playing that game with a D-pad is impossible for me. This game, I'm going to straight up say, makes improvements to the handling, but a lot of people will call me a heretic for saying that, but whatever, my opinion. Now, the other problem with this game that I think is the bigger of the two problems that most people will point out is the soundtrack. We all know the classic Daytona USA soundtrack. It is one of the most iconic, classic video game soundtracks of all time. It is incredibly charming. It is primarily the vocals of one Takanobu Mitsuyoshi, the guy who screams Daytona, you know, that guy, the guy who does the vocals for the soundtrack. His vocals have been completely removed from the game. There are versions of the original soundtrack in this game. However, they are remixes, and they are primarily instrumentals. And they are just the most soulless, empty renditions of these classic songs I've ever heard. Like, without the lyrics, they are less than a tenth of their former selves. I'm not going to say it's bad music, but oh my god, the over-the-top vocals added so much to the game. It's so much of the game's charm, original game's charm and style, depended on the soundtrack. And they straight up stripped it out and replaced it with these empty, soulless versions of the music that has no hyper dramatic vocals, and it's a massive bummer. Like, what have you done, Sega? What did you do? What did you do, Sega? You monsters! You've murdered my boy. You've murdered him. And so, while yes, this game is a better looking, better performing, better playing console port of Daytona USA with more content than the original port, it, in a very crucial, I think, and important way, lacks most of the previous game's soul. And it's such a bummer. Anyway, let's play the game. Hang on, what have I done? Hang on, I need to go back. Because you can set music for each individual track, which is interesting, I guess. Hang on, 3-7. King of Spare. Yeah. So yeah, this game adds 2 new tracks, National Park Speedway and Desert City. Retains the 3 original tracks, 3-7 Speedway, Dinosaur Canyon, and Seaside Street Galaxy. Let's just go with 3-7, it's the classic. You also get more car options in this version. Traditionally in Daytona USA, you have to drive as the Hornet. That's the canonical player car in Daytona USA, but this game gives you the option to play as some of the others in the race. Not all of them, just some of them. So each car has its own completely separate... It gives you Gallop. Yeah, Hornet and Gallop. I think Gallop was the player 2 car in Daytona USA. So if you were playing multiplayer and you were player 2, you would be the Gallop car. I'm personally a big fan of fuck it, let's just go with Hornet, whatever. I can't decide right now.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
It's not the same. It's not the same. How am I supposed to get amped for this race without a man yelling "rolling start" into my ears? How are you supposed to do it? It's impossible. What are we doing? See, as you can see, massive visual improvements. The frame rate is double what it was in the previous game. I find the handling in this game slightly more easy to get my head around than I do in the original arcade game, which means I get to have more fun. Okay.
5 laps to go.
But man, that soundtrack is like... Where did the soundtrack go, man? Like, what did you do? Where are we? 9th place. Can we get into the top 3 before the end? That's the question. Oh god. Oh god. While the handling... Oh, Jesus Christ. While the handling is, I think, better than the original, it's still a little bit stiff and twitchy. Ugh. Handling the drifting or the handbrake turns is still a little tough.
Check your position. You're looking good.
Did I just run out of time? Oh my god, this game has incredibly strict time limits. What the fuck? Doesn't even let you slow down. Just stops immediately.
You play.
Cool. Yeah, whatever. I'm not waiting for you. I didn't even think I was going that slowly, but okay, apparently the game disagreed. What can we do to rectify that? Is there an option here that just gives us more time? What do we set it to easy? Maybe that will give us more time. Why does this version of the game still even have a timer? I can understand with an arcade machine, because, you know, you don't want somebody to sit on the machine all day on 1 credit. You want to force them off at some point. But if it's a console port, why even still have the timer? Like, come on, fuck off.
3, 2, 1.
Let's try that again.
They're underway.
This time with more time.
You're looking good. You're burning up the time. You're looking good. Seven laps to go.
Okay.
Time extension. You can take it.
Okay.
Five laps to go.
That final corner, still kind of tough. Still kind of tight. Where it's a little difficult to handle consistently. Slow down to 250, then turn.
Time extension.
Oh my god. Where's the guy in third place? Where is he?
You're burning up the time.
I'm fine, shut up.
Time extension.
Okay, I'm in third now. 2 more laps. Fuck you, cones. Frame rate getting a little framey. The frame rate is improved. Oh god, the frame rate is improved, but doesn't mean the game doesn't get a little framey sometimes. Oh, okay. Oh god,
The white flag is out. This is the final lap.
I'm currently in first, which is interesting. Oh god, get back on the road. Get back on the road.
Check your position.
I'll take it. Cars display some light damage. If you knock into stuff a lot, you'll get slightly dented up cars.
You place first.
No game over song.
Congratulations.
No game over song.
Victory lane. You made it.
Where's the game over song? Where's the guy going G-A-M-E-O-V-E-R? Game over, game over, game over. Like, where's that little jingle? What have you done? Why did you take that out of the game? Oh my god. All right.
Now list your name with the other champion.
Do you want to replay? No, not really. All right, let's look at some other tracks. Let's try one of the new ones, National Park Speedway. It's also, let's have a go with the Wolf. Maximum grip and acceleration at the expense of speed.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
The Wolf is a really good pick if, like, you're you can't stop. If you're really bad about knocking into other cars and the side of the track, get back up to speed quickly.
And they're underway.
This game does have multiple camera angles. You've got your bonnet view, pure first person with no bonnet. I like the standard behind the back view. Oh god. We've also got a high up view as well, but I like the standard close in. Oh my god, this hairpin. Jesus Christ. Tracks are like, they're okay, but they're not as good as the original iconic 3.
Terrific. Another time extension.
Oh god.
Great. Your time has been extended.
Oh god.
You're burning up the tires.
I keep misjudging where the hairpin is. I think it's that first curve, but it's not. It's the one immediately afterwards.
Time extension.
Terrific. Another time extension. Terrific. Another time.
It's not this turn, it's the one immediately afterwards. That one. There we go.
You can take it.
Time extension.
You're burning up the tires.
No, left. Ugh.
Terrific. Another time extension. Terrific. Another time extension.
Oh, Jesus. I did it again. I did it again. I initiated the the turn too soon, and then I screwed up the actual hairpin. Ugh.
2 laps to go.
Yeah, still not super keen on the style of handling that Daytona USA games tend to have, even though if I think this is a general improvement on the original, it's still not the kind of handling that I like. It's way too dependent, I think, on position on the road. I like my arcade racing games to be a bit more loosey-goosey.
This is the final lap.
With how they let you turn corners.
Terrific. Another time extension.
Like, Sega Rally or Ridge Racer, they're a lot more lenient. It's more about timing than position in those games.
Check your position. Great. Your time has been extended.
Oh, fuck. Ugh.
Check your position.
Finish the race in the pit lane. Just because I can.
You place 5th.
Again, no little game over jingle. Like, what? What a bummer.
Now list your name with the other champion.
Let's do a time attack. Let's do a... Let's have a look at the other new track in this game. Let's go all acceleration and speed, no grip. 4 laps.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Good low times. Ooh.
And they're underway.
Accelerating a little bit too hard at the start there. Oh. Oh, Jesus. Ugh. Boy, this car's got a lot of wheel spin.
You're burning up the tire.
Oh my god. Ugh. The handling is awful in this car. And it's got horrific wheel spin. Definitely not the car I like playing as. Oh my god, no, straighten out. Daytona USA, the way Daytona USA treats its like drifting mechanics is like really weird to me. It's almost a game that you don't want to drift in because the drifting mechanics are so finicky and I don't know, they work in a very specific kind of way that it's completely different to how a game like Sega Rally does it, or Ridge Racer. You kind of want this game to handle drifting like Ridge Racer, but it's not Ridge Racer. It never was Ridge Racer. I guess technically in a way it shouldn't be Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer is like its own separate thing, and not every arcade racing game needs to control like Ridge Racer. You know, they are allowed to have their own identity, but I would like it to be at least a little bit closer to Ridge Racer than what this is. I guess technically you're not even supposed to be drifting in this game. This is a much more of a speed and position. You know, you have to stick to a racing line and make sure that you're not going too fast into a corner. You have to, I guess this game is like requires some form of like real life racing knowledge, you know, like how real life racing car drivers race. You know, it's more about make sure you're on the right portion of the road, make sure your speed is correct so you can get in and out of the turn as quickly as possible, you know. But I don't want to play like that. I want to slam on the handbrake and take a turn sideways and come out the other side barely having lost any speed, but unfortunately that's not what Daytona USA is. And it seems that the game actively punishes you for trying to play it that way, which is an extra bummer. Whoop. Yeah. That's enough of that track. That car sucks. I'm never playing as that car again. Got some Dinosaur Canyon. Let's be the Gallop. Why not?
Gentlemen, start your engine. And they're underway.
While the draw distance is improved over the original, it's still not great. You definitely still see chunks of the track just appearing magically in front of you as you drive down the road, which, you know, there's only so much you can do. If you're trying to both improve the graphics and the frame rate at the same time, realistically, there's only so much you can do when it comes to the draw distance, right? It's like, oof. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, it sucks. The soundtrack, man. Like without the guy yelling in my ears about, you know, how good it feels to race. How am I supposed to, like, I don't know, get in the zone? It's you don't realise just how important Daytona USA soundtrack is until you take it away, and you're like, oh my god, this is half a video game. Oh, what a bummer. Someone should mod in the original OST into this game. I've just thought there are a number of hacks and mods out there for Saturn games now over the last few years, and one of the mods that has yet to appear is a version of Championship Circuit Edition with the original soundtrack restored. It wouldn't even be a difficult mod because the soundtrack is stored as Redbook audio, so all you would need to do is just swap out the CD tracks that contain the remixed versions and then just swap back in the original tracks. That's all you would have to do. It would be an incredibly simple mod to do, but nobody has done it yet. Hell, I would do it if I knew how to. And no, it is not as simple as just ripping the disk image, using an ISO editor to edit the tracks and then burning it back to a disk. It's not as simple as that. I thought it was that simple. I tried to do it myself, but apparently no. There are checks and balances in place that prevent you from doing that to a Saturn ISO and then having that game then work. It's there's some kind of, I don't know, digital signature on the disk image that tells the Saturn that the ISO, that the disk image itself, that the data on the disk hasn't been fucked with. That is like, I can't seem to replicate by editing the ISO file. Like, I can go into the ISO file and rip out music and replace it with different music, but then getting that game to run on a Saturn, I can't figure that part out. Oh well. Yeah. What? There's only one track left, isn't there? Seaside Street Galaxy. Yeah. Yeah, without the iconic soundtrack, the somewhat awkward handling of Daytona USA is all the more noticeable. I'm noticing it a lot more. Without the music to distract me.
Start your engine. And they're underway.
Seaside Street Galaxy, which I think has like the best song in the soundtrack. I know everyone's very, very fond of the, the other two songs, but for me, Sky High is like the best of the three songs. Oh, no, don't go in the pit. Jesus Christ. Turn, bitch. No, turn more. Oh God, turn back. It's just, oh my God, twitchy, finicky handling that I've never been able to figure out properly. I should stop trying to play this like Ridge Racer. I should stop doing it, but I can't. I can't force my brain to adapt. No! Oh, galloping horses, save me. No, turn left. Oh my God. The car doesn't want to recenter. It's like the game actively punishes people trying to drift. No.
Your time has been extended.
Space shuttle.
Burning up the time.
Oh God, no, turn, you fucker.
You're burning up the time.
The white flag is out. This is the final lap.
No, back. Oh my God, this fucking. Oh, I take everything back. This game controls like shit.
Burning up the time.
Jeffrey, help me. Save me, Jeffrey. Save me from my own bad habits. Oh, God.
Great, your time has been extended. You're burning up the time.
Turn, please. Oh, my God. Turn left. Oh, my God. It's like trying to turn a tank. You see, Daytona USA 1, even though I wasn't a fan of how it controlled, it at least had style on its side. And a massive, massive chunk of that style was the soundtrack. So I was willing to put up with the parts of these games that I'm not super fond of. Can I finish this lap before I run out of time? I don't think I can.
Check your position. You're burning up the time.
Nope, I'm going to run out of time. Daytona USA, I wish I understood how to control you.
You place 12.
12. I like the voice. You can tell when he says 12, he's a little bit disappointed in you when he says it. It's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'll do better next time, I swear. Okay, we fucked around with a controller enough. It's time we did this properly. Move the keyboard out of the way a bit more. Look at this. Okay, how does it handle the controls? Okay, down view. Okay, Z and Y are brakes. B and C are accelerate. A is up view. X is down view. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people get mixed up when they switch in the wheel. A lot of Sega Saturn games, if they detect the racing wheel and the game supports the racing wheel, they won't just change the steering mapping, they will also change the button layout. So what was the A button on a controller is not the A button on a steering wheel. Stuff like that. Okay, shift up, shift down, that's cool. Let's change this back to normal.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
I'm also not a fan of the completely original music they've added into this version of the game. These just like, I don't know, just generic rock tracks that lack any real personality. They are not a suitable replacement. I'm sorry. They are not. They never will be.
And they're underway.
Okay. Okay.
You're looking good.
Oh god. Okay, what do we did this? Oh Jesus. Okay.
7 laps to go.
Oh god. Turn. Turn back, please. Thank you. I'm going to say drifting might feel a little bit easier with the wheel than it does with the controller. Oh god. Doing good. Whoop. Took that completely wrong.
2 laps to go.
The white flag is out. This is the final lap.
Where's first? Where are you? Where are you, you bitch?
Check your position.
Oh god. Whatever, I'll take second. I like how they used
Second.
the Saturn's dithered transparency to simulate a chain link fence in front of the stands. It's a good use.
Victory lane.
It does kind of look like a chain link fence. It's more effective at rendering a chain link fence than actually trying to like draw a texture that looks like a chain link fence. Just do the dithered transparency thing. That looks really similar to a chain link fence. Good enough.
Now list your name with the other champion.
Oh, it doesn't do the thing in original Daytona USA where the more slowly you turn the wheel, the more slow the letter wheel spins. It's just a fixed speed. That's a shame. Where am I going? I'm going the wrong way. Alright, let's do one more track and then we'll rank this sucker. Go back to Dinosaur Canyon.
Gentlemen, start your engine. And they're underway.
It's a lot easier to take these longer longer corners with an analog wheel than it is with a D-pad. Oh god, turn back, Jesus. Completely fucked that up. Oh my god, no. Thank you. Sometimes I'm like encouraged just to bash into the other cars because I know they'll help me straighten out. Out of the way.
Great, your time has been extended. You can take it. You're looking good. You can take it. Terrific. Another time extension. You're burning up the tire. You can take it. You can take it.
Uh-oh.
Turn around. You're heading the wrong way.
I'd like to turn right, but the car won't let me. Jesus.
Two laps to go.
I like that the damage to your car is reflected also in the pre-rendered bonnet view as well. Oh god. Out of my way.
Terrific. Another time extension. You're looking good. Terrific. Another time extension. You're burning up the tire. Check your position.
Go. Fuck you. Oh, what a bummer. Oh.
You placed 10th.
10th. Again, there's that like disappointed voice. And no game over jingle. What a shame. Anyway. Wait, does this game... It does. This game supports the 3D pad. I've completely forgot about that. Let me go quickly grab the 3D pad and we will test the 3D pad because, oh my god, not enough games use the 3D pad, so we're not going to waste this opportunity. Give me just a second. Okay, we're back. I have the 3D pad plugged in. And, okay, you can navigate the menus with the 3D pad, with the analog pad. Let's see, what does it say about the controls? Okay, reflected in the control screen, that's good. So I'm curious, the 3D pad has progressive triggers, progressive analog triggers. Does this game make use of the progressive analog triggers? Yeah, notice that it's moved the acceleration from the face buttons to the triggers, so I'm assuming it does make use of the analog triggers, which is good. Let's test that. Okay, let's use a different car. the magic. Doesn't matter. 2 laps.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
I'm not expecting this to be like a night and day difference, but you know, it's important to test these things. You know, we also so precious few games we've looked at have actually supported the 3D pad, so we need to try and give it a fair shake. You know. Okay, I'm very gently applying pressure to the right trigger. Yes, look. The game does make use of the progressive triggers. And I'm assuming the same's for the brake. Yeah, look. Light brake, heavy brake. So yeah, okay, the game does make use of the progressive triggers. Good. For some reason, I was always under the impression that Sega Touring Car was the only racing game that used the progressive triggers. I'm glad to say that I am wrong. Oh god. Let's zoom all the way out for this one. Oof. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's all I really wanted to know was how the game felt with the analog pad and if it used the progressive triggers or not. And you know, I'm gonna say the controls feel like an improvement on the D-pad, but not as good as playing it with the arcade wheel. So I'm gonna say. If you have a 3D pad, play it with the 3D pad, but if you have an arcade wheel, definitely play it with the arcade wheel. Like that is the correct way to play Daytona USA on the Sega Saturn. The arcade wheel is the best feeling control method, I think. Even if you don't get analog acceleration and braking. That's like the one plus the 3D pad gives you that no other control input can. It's the use of the progressive triggers. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, this game is still extremely twitchy. We're gonna end this by can I reverse? No? Alright, we're just gonna park here next to the statue of Jeffrey from Virtua Fighter. Yeah. Daytona USA Championship Circuit Edition. A significant improvement in many ways over the original port of the game. But also, in some ways, a bummer. Kind of a bummer. A missed opportunity, you might say. They righted some wrongs, but in doing so, they also created whole new other wrongs. Oh boy. So, here's the question. Where's it going to go on the list? Now, the original Daytona USA is all the way down in 25th place. Which is not a bad position. This is a game that, despite its incredible technical shortcomings, still is like incredibly charming. Incredibly charming. Due to its visual styles and its soundtrack, and it is a game that I would say if you have to play the Saturn version of Daytona USA, play it with an arcade wheel. It's the only good way to play the game. So I'm going to say that Championship Circuit Edition is overall a better game than the original port. But I'm going to use this word, ruined soundtrack is a massive negative for me personally. It's like Daytona USA, better frame rate, better graphics, more content, awesome. Oh, you brutalized the soundtrack. Oh no. It's like you get plus 4 points for a better frame rate, plus 4 points for better graphics, plus 4 points for more content, minus 10 points for ruining the soundtrack. Like, Jesus Christ. You were so close, Sega. You're so close. You were so close to a great version of this game, but spoiled. I'm going to say it's better than the Saturn version of Daytona SimCity 2000. But I don't know if I can put it any higher. I would rather play Street Fighter Alpha 1. I think Theme Park is still a more compelling video game. Buster Move 2 is, I think, for me personally, a lot more enjoyable. Athlete Kings is a great game. And still, even by the standards of Championship Circuit Edition, still a much better arcade port than Championship Circuit Edition. Virtua Fighter Kids is, while not the best Virtua Fighter game on the system, still, I think, a better game than the best version of Daytona USA for the system. I think it's not even going that far up, really. I think it sits between SimCity 2000 and Virtua Fighter Kids. Yeah. That is a missed opportunity. Yeah, I can see why so many people are extremely divisive about this version of the game. It is such a missed opportunity to right the wrongs of the first port. Like, it's a better game. It is a better game, but there are massive negatives to it that didn't have to be that way. Did not have to be that way. Before we move on, I just want to end this with just a little ditty. Hang on. A little song. Here we go. Let's end this with the only way that seems right. Turn on my desktop audio for this. I hope it's not too loud. That's all I have to say about that. Someone should do that, by the way. That thing I mentioned earlier about modding the original soundtrack back into Championship Circuit Edition. They should just do that. That wouldn't even be difficult to do. Just swap out some of the Red Book audio tracks on the disc image. Easy fix. I lack the necessary skills to do it myself. I tried, but I ran into the limitations of my setup and I couldn't make it work, which is a bummer. Anyway, let's move on to the next game, which is an extremely important game. This is a game I've been preparing myself to play for quite some time now, both mentally and emotionally. This is an extremely important video game for the system. There was a time in my life when I most definitely believed this game that we're about to play was the best game released in Europe for the system, but I don't know anymore. It's been such a long time, and my opinions on various games have both grown and, gone up and gone down. I don't know where this game fits anymore, and so while I still think it's an extremely good game, I don't know if it's number one. We're going to find out. The game I am talking about is, and contender for most improved sequel on the platform, I am talking about Street Fighter Alpha 2. It's here. It's time. It's time to play some fucking Alpha 2, baby. Oh boy. Alright, unplug the 3D pad for now. Because while the 3D pad is perfectly functional in all the ways that matter to play a game like this, it just doesn't have the right hand feel for me. For me personally, if you're going to play some Street Fighter on a Sega Saturn, you need to do it with a standard Model 2 controller. Or a Japanese-style controller, as it's known by some people. Oh shit, we're really going to do this, aren't we? Oh boy, here we go. Play some Alpha 2. Oh, Street Fighter Alpha 2. Where the fuck do I begin? Whoops, let me disable the desktop audio. Whoops. Left that on. Didn't mean to. I think Alpha 2 is probably my favourite classic Street Fighter game. And when I say classic Street Fighter, I mean everything from original OG Fighting Street all the way to like Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Of the 2D Street Fighter games. And I know that's going to be weird for some people because Alpha 3 is considered like objectively the best Alpha game. But I don't know, there's like something about Alpha 3 tone-wise that I don't like. An intro so good they had to say it twice. So, Street Fighter Alpha 2. This is a great, amazing home version of Street Fighter Alpha 2. let me just bring up my notes here. I have made notes. So, Street Fighter Alpha 2, I think, is the game that Alpha 1 should have been. Alpha 1 is a good game, but Alpha 1 is an incredibly thin, I think, bare bones game. There aren't many characters, they recycle stage backgrounds, none of the music is especially good. It's a very... I'm not going to say basic, but I'm going to say it's very unambitious, especially since that is a game that Capcom put out after they had already made games like X-Men Children of the Atom and Darkstalkers. And then, you know, you get great, amazing, flashy games like that really push, you know, the limits of like 2D sprite animation and style. And then they put out the most like bland, basic milquetoast Street Fighter game possible. Like, it looks nice, the art style is nice, but it's not very... It doesn't ignite the imagination like those other two fighting games did. And it's like, oh, really? This is your, you know, this is how you're going to treat your one of your flagship franchises, really? And so Alpha 2, in many ways, feels like a response to the disappointment around Alpha 1. This is a much, much, much better game in every way. It replaces the chain combo system from Alpha 1 with an all-new custom combo system, which I'm not super into, but I appreciate that it's there. Adds more characters to the game. So you've got Bison, Akuma, and Dan, who were unlockable in Alpha 1, are now available from the start in Alpha 2. They've added in more characters from previous Street Fighter games, so Zangief and Dalsim are added to the roster from Street Fighter 2. Gen is an original Street Fighter 1 character that they've brought back, which makes sense because technically the Alpha franchise is meant to replace the original Street Fighter / Fighting Street, because that original Street Fighter 1, aka Fighting Street, is trash, garbage video game. Street Fighter Alpha is meant to essentially replace that piece of shit with something actually like worthy of the name Street Fighter. And they also added a new character, well, not new, a borrowed character, Rolento from the Final Fight games. I think he's a boss in one of the Final Fight games. I don't remember which one. He's added into this roster. Also, an all-new character, and frankly, best character in the game, Sakura, who is amazing. So let's just do training mode here. She is one of my favourite Street Fighter characters of all time. She's just a great addition to the roster. Hang on, let me just... Sorry, one moment, I'll be right with you. Okay. So... normal recording. Let's go with normal mode. Do we want the bot to be doing anything? Level 3 gauge, Turbo 1, let's have them just stand there, it's fine.
Round 1, fight!
This game has an amazing soundtrack. It's so much better than the soundtrack in Alpha 1. All the characters have unique stage backgrounds now. They're not recycling backgrounds like they did in Alpha 1. You feel like a lot of the characters have had like some work done to their animations to be a little bit more expressive. Also, there's just a lot more playfulness to the backgrounds than there was in Alpha 1. Like, Alpha 1's was fine, but it lacked the playfulness that people associate with a lot of the Street Fighter games. Like, here's an example. Like, Ken's background here is, I think, personally my favourite background in the game. It is full of references to other Capcom franchises. Like, here in the far left there, you see those 3 characters on the far left. The guy with the guitar and the 2 girls. Those are, that's Zabal, aka Lord Raptor, from Darkstalkers in his human form. Then you've got Hyson Ko and Mei Ling in their human forms from Darkstalkers. Then you've got these 2 guys with the sunglasses. Those are the main characters from Forgotten Worlds, a Capcom franchise. In the middle there, probably the most obvious of all the references in this background, you've got Morrigan from Darkstalkers in her human form. Back here, in the very back there, you see those 2 guys in the suits with the headbands and the armbands. Those are characters from a wrestling game. I forget the name of the wrestling game. It's Capcom put out a wrestling game in arcades. I've got it written down. Hang on. It is... Ring of Destruction Slam Masters 2. So I believe those are 2 characters from that game. Then you've got... in the middle is Eliza, who is Ken's other half. But next to Eliza, you have Ninja Commando and Captain Commando, who are characters from the Captain Commando arcade game, which was one of Capcom's weird forced attempts at kind of trying to brute force a new mascot character that didn't really work out. I think Captain Commando's biggest contribution is probably being a playable character in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think. That's probably where most people know him from. Then to his right, that's apparently a... Whoops. Uh-oh. There's apparently a character called Michelle Hart, who is from Legendary Wings, a classic Capcom arcade game. Then to her right, we have Strider Hiryu from Strider. Also one of the more obvious cameos in this background. Then to the right of him, the woman leaning on the side of the pool. That is... oh god, who is that? That is a character called Lin Kurosawa. She is a character from the Alien vs. Predator beat-em-up. That's right, before Alien vs. Predator was a first-person shooter franchise, it was a beat-em-up franchise made by Capcom. And then to her, in the middle of the pool, there's obviously Felicia from Darkstalkers. And then next to her, sitting at the end of the pool, is a character called Pure, who is a character from a very obscure franchise, the Adventure Quiz franchise, which was only ever released in Japan. And then on the very far right here, this dude in the suit holding a towel. This is apparently, I don't know exactly who it's meant to be, but apparently this is meant to be a caricature of a Capcom executive at the time. I do not know who it is, but apparently that's who it's meant to be. It's my personal favourite background in the game. Sakura is cool because she's basically an alternative take on Ryu's moveset. So she's got a spin kick, but her spin kick is slightly different to Ryu's. She's got a Hadoken, but her Hadoken is like different to Ryu, so her standard fireball is quite small and doesn't go all the way across the screen and doesn't do a lot of damage. But you can charge up her fireball. So for a standard quarter circle punch is that. But if you do quarter circle punch, she does a slightly bigger fireball that goes only halfway across the screen. And if you press quarter circle forward punch, she does this massive short range blast. She also has this incredibly sick running uppercut, which is my personal favourite part of her move list. She's also got a forward medium kick, which is different to her standard medium kick. That's her standard medium kick. And if you press forward medium kick, she does this delayed kick. She in later games she would have a jumping attack where she leaps into the air and then will punch you from above. She doesn't have that in original Alpha 2. I believe that gets added in for Alpha 2 Dash or Alpha 2 Gold, whatever. Depends what territory you're in. Depends on what that version of the game is called. In Europe, in Europe it was called Alpha 2 Dash. In America it was called Alpha 2 Gold. But yeah, Sakura is an incredible addition to the game. And my favourite character of this game. Also, for the Saturn version, exclusive to the Sega Saturn version, there's this illustrations option on the main menu, where it's just a bunch of concept art and promotional artwork for the game that unfortunately is stored at low resolution. It's this would have been a great opportunity to make use of the Saturn's high-res interlaced mode to display nice high-res images, but no, unfortunately they're all stored at 240p, so they're all super low-res and grainy, which is a bummer. Because a lot of these images remain to this day the only version of these images released to the public, so some of these images, their high-res versions have never been released. Which is a bummer. So yeah, the Alpha series is known as the Zero series in Japan. Why Capcom decided to change the naming for the West, we'll never know. And there's a lot here. There's 100 images to look at if you want to. Anyway, it's not a huge addition to the game, but it's neat. It's neat. It just kind of sucks that the artwork isn't higher resolution. Okay, quickly going back into training mode, there is so Chun-Li is in the game. She was in Alpha 1, but also there's a secret version of Chun-Li available. So I believe if you select Chun-Li, she has her standard Street Fighter Alpha outfit, but if you hold down the start button and then select her, she wears her Street Fighter 2 outfit. Which is neat.
Round one, fight!
But also one of her moves changes, so Chun-Li's Fireball. That's it. Normally, the input for that is half circle forwards punch, but because she's wearing her Street Fighter 2 outfit, it's the input for that move has changed to how it is in Street Fighter 2, which is hold back, push forward, then punch. But unfortunately, she doesn't have her spinning star kick from Street Fighter 2. She's still got this that one. Not as good as a spinning star kick, but I'll take it. Come on now. And then you've also got Evil Ryu, another not really a secret character, but I think this is the very first game where Evil Ryu is a thing. This is a version of Ryu that has given in to his anger and given in to the power of the Dark Hado. Basically did what Akuma did. So let's see, hang on, highlight Ryu, hold down start, and then move right, up, down, left, and then select him, and then you get Evil Ryu with his dark gi. And then Evil Ryu has like some exclusive moves that only that version of his character can use.
Round one, fight!
So I think he can fireball in the air. No, he can't. Can he not fireball in the air? Okay. I thought he might have Akuma's air fireball, but he doesn't. But he can. Hang on. He's got a shadow step. He's... Oh, come on now. Yeah. He's got Akuma's shadow step, which is kind of neat. There's also Shin Akuma, which is a more powerful version of Akuma. You can also get him by doing a similar input on the character select screen, but we're done. We're done. We're going to play the game now. We're going to play the video game. Let me just check the options quickly. Put the difficulty up to normal. Shortcuts off. That's fine. That's good enough. Okay. We should play as Dan. No, we shouldn't play as Dan. Dan's fun to play as, but he is objectively terrible. Okay, first one is Gen. Yeah, the Saturn version is a really, really great home version of Street Fighter Alpha 2. It would not be bested until the PS2 release of Alpha 2 as part of the Street Fighter Alpha collection that came out in 2008 or so, I think? No, 2005? When did the Alpha collection for the PS2 come out? Hang on. 2006, Street Fighter Alpha Anthology for the PS2 would finally supplant the Saturn version of Alpha 2 as the best home version in 2006. So this game was the best way to play this game at home for 10 years, which is nuts to me. Anyway, let's... Get fucked! Get fucked, old man. Chip damage will do it. Cheesed him. I love that when you, if you defeat an opponent with chip damage, it gives you a very special icon, which is a block of cheese. I don't know why. Ugh, guy. Okay, this is one of the other backgrounds in the game that has a ton of references to other Capcom franchises, mainly Final Fight. Is it Final Fight? It is Final Fight. Is it? I forget. Is it? I'm not going mad, am I? Am I? It is Final Fight. That's the Capcom beat 'em up. So yeah, the background is completely full of like references to Final Fight. Whoop. Oh, come on. Bummer. Nope. Didn't deserve that. Fuck that up. I'll take it. Dalsim is a great addition to this game. His background is great. It's full of elephants like normal. Because Dalsim loves elephants. Loves him some elephants.
Round one, fight!
Get up. cherry. I forget what the cherry means. I think it's when you defeat someone with a light attack. A standard light attack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Damn it. Oh my god, fuck off. Fuck off. Bitch. Let's get back in. One negative I will say is that I'm not super fond of the load times in this version of the game. They aren't terrible, but they are long enough to be annoying. Oh my god. You're going to be really fucking annoying, aren't you, Dodson? Oh, good. Good stuff. Oh, damn it. Get fucked. Nice wake up. Okay. I'll take it. Can I do it a second time? Fuck off. God damn you. Waste. Not happy. Okay. I should have turned on quick select, because doing this thing where you've got to load back into the character select screen is just not great. Unfortunately, you can't do that mid-game. Fuck it, we're playing as Dan.
Round 1. Fight!
Dan is the whipping boy of the Street Fighter franchise. He is a Shotokan character like Ryu, but he is crap. He's terrible by design. His animations have like bad range. They have like more interrupt frames than any other character. But he's kind of fun to play as because some of his moves are ridiculous. Alright, get interrupted. His fireball is almost worthless because it's so short range. And it does very low damage. His supers are not great. He has the ability to waste a super meter on a taunt, which I think is incredible. He has what's called a super taunt, which it's just a taunt. It does no damage, but you can spend meter on it, which is insane. He's a fun character. My dad could beat you, and he's dead. Not competitive at all, but he's fun. Zangief looks great in this game. His alpha sprite is massive.
Round 2. Fight!
I love that his super Hadouken is just a regular Hadouken. Because his normal fireball move is so shit that in order to get a normal ass fireball out, he has to spend meter. Just a great character. Not a complete waste, but almost. Even when powered up with a super meter, his fireball is still kind of shit. Oh shit! Uh-oh. Oh dear.
Round 3. Fight!
Oh, get off me. Oh, god damn it. Okay. I say the Saturn version is the best home version of, or was the best home version of Alpha 2 for a long time, because while there were other home versions of Alpha 2, they were not very good. The nearest competitor would have been the PlayStation port. The PlayStation version of Alpha 2 is significantly worse in many ways. It's missing animation frames. The music is handled differently in a way that's not as good. Stage details are missing. Like, remember when we fought Gen and his alleyway takes place in an alleyway? There are reflections in the puddles in that alleyway. In the PlayStation version, those reflections are not there. Just numerous like little details like that are just missing from the PlayStation version. Probably most damning in that original PlayStation version is the intro animation, that beautiful like real-time sprite animation like intro that we saw at the start of the game. That's not there in the PlayStation version. They replaced it with an FMV, which is fucking heinous. It looks awful. So yeah, the PlayStation version is a massive disappointment. I should say the original PlayStation version. There are two versions of Alpha 2 for the PlayStation. There's the original vanilla Alpha 2, and then there's Alpha 2 Dash/Gold, which is a massive improvement. Like it is from the ground up a better version of the game than the original PlayStation release. It even includes the real-time sprite animation intro that was missing originally. So yeah, if you're going to play Alpha 2 on the PlayStation, make sure you play Alpha 2 Dash/Gold. Because that is the only good version of Alpha 2 on the PlayStation. There's the PC version, which is based on the original PlayStation release, so shares all of the same problems as the original PlayStation release. So that's a bummer. That's not a good version either. And then you have the weirdest version to ever be released, which is the Super Nintendo version of Alpha 2. Which is simultaneously the most impressive home version of the game and the worst home version of the game. The Super Nintendo version of Alpha 2 is amazing. It is also not the version you want to play. It sits in a similar... It has a similar position in history as the Super Nintendo version of Doom. You know what I mean? It's like, it's amazing that this runs on this hardware at all, but it is objectively the worst version of the game available. Fuck. Destroyed by Sodom. That's a phrase. Dan was destroyed by Sodom. Yeah, I bet he was. It's Dan. What's he gonna do? Not be destroyed by Sodom? That's an inappropriate joke I just made there. Crap, here we go again. Here we go again. Get supered by an incredibly average fireball. Yeah, the Super Nintendo version is cool. It's cool that it exists, and it's incredibly impressive that they got this game running on a Super Nintendo. They even managed to include the real-time animation intro that was missing from the PlayStation release. But it is not the one you want to play. It has weird hitching, it's got a really bad slowdown, a ton of animation frames are missing, obviously. But it's cool that they managed to do it. It's kind of incredible. Just like the the SNES version of Doom. Pass for that. God damn it. Get my shit pushed in by Rose. What are you doing? That's it, do nothing. Wrong super. I don't think kicks are going to work against Rose. Alright, time to change characters again. Let's go with Ken, why not? Oh, Dalzim again, cool. Okay, is Dalzim going to be less of an arsehole this time? We'll see. We shall see. We shall see.
Round one, fight!
Signs point to yes. Oh, fuck off. God damn it. Okay, get fucked. Fuck you, Dalsim. Come on, timing of that is weird. Didn't want to risk a super, because if I whiffed it, I'd be dead. Which go with standard stuff. Okay, Dalsim is dead. Dalsim is no longer an issue. Now it's Rose. Okay. She's going to be a problem. She's going to be a problem, isn't she?
Round one, fight!
Take it.
Round two, fight!
Come on. Fuck! Oh, okay. I got scared then. All I needed was a little bit of chip damage. That's all I needed. Oh. Okay, birdie. Birdie's usually not a problem.
Round one, fight!
That was a waste. God damn it. Ugh.
Round 2. Fight!
It's gonna... You're just gonna stand there and take it? He's just gonna stand there and take it. Okay, sure. Alright, buddy. You're just gonna stand there and take fireball after fireball after fireball. Alright, don't let me stop you. Oh, fuck. God damn it. No, stop. Oh shit, he jumped out the way. Damn it. Alright, we're changing character again. What are we at? 2 hours? Sure, why not? Oh, great. Birdie again. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Round 1. Fight!
Oh, shit. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Round 2. Fight!
Uh-oh. Ah, I just thought he was going to get closer, but he didn't get closer. God damn you. Whatever, I'll take it. Okay. Birdie is out of the way. Now it's Ken. got this awesome background again.
Round 1, fight!
Fuck. Trying to get the damn super off and it wouldn't come out. That's really annoying. Oh well.
Round 2, fight!
That's right, Ken's got an air grab. Forgot about that. Oh, fuck off. And he just goes straight over it. Awesome. I'm fucking whiffing all these fucking super inputs and it's really annoying me. No, don't get close. Okay, just stand there. Awesome. No, chip damage. Cool, now we've got to load up the character select screen again. Yeah, load up that. I should have activated quick select mode on the options screen. I'm such a fool. I would have at least removed one of the load screens from this process. Let's go back to Sakura. Okay.
Round 1, fight!
And she's got a great grab. Of course she does. Light kick, I'll take it. Cherry.
Round 2, fight!
Uh-oh. No. Oof. Okay, whatever. That went on for a while. Ooh. Fucked. Oh, bitch. Suck it, cow. Oh my god. It's getting tense. Tensing up over here. Alright, now Ken again. Awesome. One step closer to the end. I've been playing this for over an hour. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Round one, fight!
Ooh, ooh. Okay. I thought it had an opening, but I guess not. Oh, fuck off. Mm.
Round two, fight!
He jumped away. Of course he did. What? Okay, this is fucking stupid now. No. Oh, I think we're done. I think we're done here. I think we're done here. I don't know. I sensed some bullshit in the timings there, but okay.
Game over.
Okay. That's enough time. Enough time has been spent on Alpha 2. I would like to keep going and keep trying and keep going until eventually making my way to the end, but we are at over 2 hours now, and I've got a whole third game to play, so we do not have the time. Anyway. Street Fighter Alpha 2, a hell of a game. Great style, great soundtrack, great characters. A fantastic home port of the game. But the important question remains. Where is it going on the list? So I'm going to go ahead and straight up start this off by saying that Street Fighter Alpha 2 is a far, far superior game to Alpha 1 in every way that matters. Okay, it's better than Virtua Cop. It's a better game than Parodius. It's a better game than Road Rash. It's better than Guardian Heroes. It's better than Gun Griffin. It's better than Galaxy Fight. It's better than Darius Gaiden. It's better than Shinobi X. It thoroughly outclasses Exhumed. It's better than Fighting Vipers. It's better than the Story of Thor. I would take Alpha 2 over Night Warriors personally. That feels very much like a personal taste thing, I'm sure. But I think the Street Fighter Alpha franchise is superior to the Darkstalkers franchise. I know. Send me hate mail, leave rude comments, but not even close. I would take Alpha 2 over Virtua Fighter 2. We are breaking the Virtua Fighter 2 barrier. I would take Alpha 2 over Rayman. I really like X-Men Children of the Atom. It is a great 2D fighting game. It is one of the only Capcom Marvel games that I like, because frankly I have great respect for the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise. They're clearly very amazingly well designed fighting games, but they are too much. The only Marvel fighting games from Capcom that I can actually enjoy playing are X-Men and Marvel Superheroes. I personally do not enjoy playing the Versus games, so X-Men Children of the Atom is one of the best Marvel games that Capcom put out, in my opinion. But I think I would... I do not like it as much as I like Alpha 2. I think Alpha 2 has got better characters, a better soundtrack. I think it's just this it's an iconic game. It is stylistically an incredible looking game. It is, I think, a better game than X-Men Children of the Atom. Which means we're in the top 3. Panzer Dragoon 2's Vi is an amazing video game. It is an incredible achievement on a technical level, and it is an incredible achievement on a stylistic level. An incredible soundtrack. Stylistically, one of the most interesting and distinctive games for the Sega Saturn. Panzer Dragoon 2. That final level where you're flying alongside and through the middle of the battleship, coming out of the side, destroying the fins, going back in, flying through. It's a fucking amazing set piece. And that final boss fight against the dragon, against the enemy dragon, is maybe the single best boss fight in the whole franchise. I don't think there's a single boss fight in any of the other Panzer Dragoon games, and I'm including Saga in that matches the majesty of the final boss fight in Panzer Dragoon 2. The combination of visuals and soundtrack is incredible. Just a high point of the entire franchise. It is not without its flaws. I do not like the first level. That first level where you're running through the village is a slog. The fact that they force you to play that level every time you start a new game is annoying. The second level is good, where you're running through the canyons, the third level where you're flying through the forest, I personally don't like. I know that's meant to be like a franchise, like, iconic level. Everyone always references the jungle level from Panzer Dragoon 2. I don't know why. It's one of the least interesting levels in the game. I could take or leave the underground level in the tunnels. That level's got a cool boss fight, but getting to the boss fight is kind of a chore. The second to last level, where you're flying over the ocean of poison sludge, is pretty great. That's a really good level. So yeah, about an even spread of good and bad levels, you know. Also, there's the bug in the European version that prevents you from using the 3D pad properly. That's a knock against it. I don't know if that's just the European version or if that's present in all the versions. I don't know. But yeah, it's an incredible achievement that is still has some notable flaws to it. And I have great respect for this video game. However, Street Fighter Alpha 2 is such a, for me at least, a genre-defining video game. It is, if you want to talk about some of the best fighting games from the 1990s, Alpha 2 is in that conversation. You know, if you want to talk about what is the most important, you know, and like, it is Street Fighter's comeback, if you think about it. Alpha 2 came out at a time when the Street Fighter franchise was seemingly in a lull. Alpha 1, like, the Street Fighter 2 was a fantastic game, all-time great, but the constant milking of updates to Street Fighter 2 really, by the end, really soured people. So Street Fighter 2 The World Warriors, great arcade game. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, an improvement on an already great game, excellent. Street Fighter Championship Edition, aka Street Fighter 2 Dash, was like, okay, this is like the same game as Turbo, but with some very slight balance tweaks. Okay, not really worth selling it as an entire game, but okay, thanks Capcom, I guess. Super Street Fighter 2. Oh cool, you've added some extra characters to this game that already felt like it had enough characters. Also, it's now slow again, like the original version of Street Fighter 2 was. Oh dear, what have you done? And then finally, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which was like, oh, we've added the Turbo back into the game, but we've sold it to you again, haha. By the time Super Turbo comes out, people are pretty, like, losing their patience with Capcom. And then Street Fighter Alpha 1 was meant to be the revitalization of the series, but it was just kind of, it was a good game, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't the game that people thought it was going to be, especially after Capcom had already put out X-Men and Darkstalkers. Alpha 2 fixed that. Alpha 2 is the game that put Street Fighter back on top. It's like, holy shit, Capcom can make an amazing Street Fighter game. They can still make amazing Street Fighter games. Street Fighter is back. Alpha 2 is incredible. It is the sequel that the franchise deserved. And it is amazing. It has got a fantastic soundtrack. Sakura is like an all-time great, like, Street Fighter character. I think she's top 5 Street Fighter characters, you know. She's up there across the entire franchise. All the backgrounds are great. It has got such a fantastic sense of style. it is a true return to form for the franchise. And I said earlier, I prefer Alpha 2 to Alpha 3. There's something about this. On paper, Alpha 3 is a better game because it's got more characters and more modes, whatever, but it's just something about the tone of Alpha 3 that I don't know. It's I can't justify this description, but this is how it feels in my head. Alpha 2 feels like a distinguished middle-aged man sitting in his library smoking a pipe. Alpha 3 is a teenager screaming in your face. I don't know how I can quantify that description. I don't know why that's how it feels in my head. But Alpha 2 feels like it has so much more class than Alpha 3. Alpha 3 is... It's a great game, but it's a little bit too much. Alpha 2, I should say Alpha 2 Dash or Alpha 2 Gold is like, to me, the best 2D Street Fighter game. We won't get to Alpha 2 Dash for a while, but standard Alpha 2, also pretty fucking good. So, and it's like, for that reason, I'm going to say that I prefer Alpha 2 to Panzer Dragoon 2. Galactic Attack is a great shooter. It's an all-time great shooter. It is, I think, one of the best classic pre-bullet hell. It's not a bullet hell shooter. It's just a standard space shooter. Non-bullet hell it's one of the best non-bullet hell shooters ever made. It looks great. It sounds great. The lock-on mechanic is a really great addition to the game. Boy. Man. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I've returned. Galactic Attack, aka Layer Section, aka oh my god. Rayforce, that's the name. The original arcade title, Rayforce, is a fantastic game. It's got great style, great pixel art, really memorable boss fights, great soundtrack. It's got that 3x4 mode, or Tate mode, to really take advantage of your TV's screen aspect, if you want to do that. I don't think it's as good as Alpha 2. And that's through no fault of its own. It is just, I think, just outclassed. It's outclassed here. It's outclassed. Galactic Attack is a great game. It is not Street Fighter Alpha 2. Which brings us, finally, is it better than Sega Rally Championship? Me of 15 years ago would have said yes. It is better than Sega Rally. But I don't know anymore. I've become very, very fond of Sega Rally in the years since. Sega Rally is like the perfect racing game. It is so fucking good. It is the perfect handle. It is perfect handling. Regardless of what you're using. Are you using a pad? Great. The game feels great. Are you using a wheel? It takes a little bit of practice to get used to it, but once you're used to it, the wheel feels great. The soundtrack is incredible. Fucking amazing soundtrack this game has. If there was one knock against Sega Rally, I would say that it's a little bit thin content-wise. You know, it's 3 cars and 4 tracks, which is very thin. But those tracks, those individual tracks, have so much personality to them. You know, it's perfecting a run in Sega Rally isn't a form of skill, it's art. Watching somebody who is like really, really great at this game is like watching an artist work. It is such a fucking amazing like feeling to just nail a lap perfectly, take every corner perfectly at speed and not touch the wall. It's such a great feeling of achievement when you manage that. And it's an incredible technical achievement as well. Sega Rally Championship is, I think, might actually be the best looking racing game on the Saturn from a technical standpoint. Like, it is like relatively high detail environments and cars running at a perfectly smooth 30/25 frames a second. And I don't know, the sheer amount of optimization they must have done in order to achieve that. Because I feel like this game would be ruined with even the slightest amount of slowdown. It would still be a good game if there was a little bit of slowdown here and there. But the fact that it is solid, the frame rate is solid, it never dips once. I think like it just makes it just an incredible achievement. It is an incredible technical achievement as well as being just an incredible video game. It would be nice if there was more a greater selection of cars and tracks, yes. But what is there is so good. Maybe not Lakeside. Lakeside is not a great track, but the 3 main tracks before you unlock Lakeside are perfect. This is hard. Alpha 2 has no flaws. Alpha 2 is a flawless video game. I don't think there's really technically anything you can point to in the Saturn version of Alpha 2 and say this is not good enough. Decent selection of characters, all of them. Even if, you know, there's enough there that even if you don't like playing as half of them, there's still enough left over that you feel like you've got a decent selection to choose from. All of them have like got great designs. They're all really, really great character designs. The soundtrack is great. There's a training mode. which I believe, was this the first Street Fighter game to feature a training mode? It might be. It might be. There's the secret costumes for Chun-Li. There's the introduction of Evil Ryu. It's kind of a perfect video game. That's not to say that improvements can't be made. Improvements would be made with Alpha 2 Dash/Gold. But that doesn't mean that the original is flawed. Fuck. Alpha 2 is a incredible video game, but it is the game that Alpha 1 should have been. This is an example of Capcom playing catch-up. And God, it's fuck. I've got it. The number one place for best Sega Saturn game in ranking of Saturn will not be changing. Street Fighter Alpha 2 is our new number 2. That is an incredibly hard decision. There was a moment there where I thought, is it going to be number 1? Is it actually a better Sega Saturn game than Sega Rally Championship? But I think Sega Rally Championship is such a fucking incredible achievement for the hardware. And the game is good as well. And it has great style as well. That I don't know, I think it just edges by the tiniest of margins, just edges Alpha 2. If there was any other flaws, if there was anything wrong, like objectively wrong with this game, if there was any like slow down, you know, if there were any like notable bugs, if the music wasn't quite as good as it is, if the controls didn't feel quite as good as they feel, this would have lost. But everything is just perfect enough that it can stay ahead of Alpha 2. This is, oh man. No, I'm done. It's done. I've made my decision. Alpha 2 is our new number 2. Congratulations to Street Fighter Alpha 2 for being the second best Sega Saturn game. The very first time in a long time we have a new entry in the top 5. In the top half of the top 10. Incredible video game. I'm hitting save. It's saved. All right. We're done. It's over. We're moving on to our third and final game of the video. Oh my god, the drama. Oh my god. Okay, the third and final game for the video. We are going to go over 3 hours today. I'm sorry about that. The third and final game for the video is, I'm going to say, nowhere near as good as the previous 2 games that we've seen. But I think it's all right. It's a little game that no one ever talks about anymore, because why would you? It is a little game called Street Racer from Ubisoft. It is it's a Mario Kart clone. It's a kart racer, and it's maybe hasn't aged so well. Alright, yeah, so, this game will not let you boot unless there's a certain amount of free space in the internal memory. So here's the thing, yeah, the game needs at least 17 free blocks of internal memory to start, which is strange, because if we go over here and we select cartridge memory, hey, maybe use the cartridge. Press A to select memory. Are you sure? Yes. It doesn't. It just stays on system memory, and I don't know. I don't know what's the point of this file manager if it doesn't actually do anything. What's the point of selecting cartridge memory if you can't actually select cartridge memory? What is going on? Are you sure? Yes is flashing. No, we're going to stay on system memory, fuck you. So I think the file manager doesn't work. Yeah. The game requires 17 blocks. Please delete an existing file. So yeah, so the game will not even let you play it, I think. Can we exit? What has happened if we exit? Okay, exiting it does let you move on. All right. For a minute there, I wasn't sure if the game was even going to let you start. Okay. Just the wording it used was a bit strange. Here's this incredibly low frame rate FMV that looks like shit. This game came out on a lot of platforms. I think it came out originally on the Super Nintendo, where it was just a straight Mario Kart clone. And then it got quite an impressive port to the Mega Drive. And then there's the... Hang on. And then there's the 32-bit versions, which are the PlayStation, DOS, and Saturn versions. These versions are interesting because they support up to 8 players. even on the PlayStation version. The PlayStation version also, I believe, supports 8 players. You need 2 multi-taps to achieve that. One moment, just a second. Oh, it got bored. It got sick of waiting and then backed out. So yeah, as you can see, here's a little clip of the game. It's basically Mario Kart, but with like slightly nicer looking tracks. It runs at a decent frame rate as well, which is good. I will say that I don't think this game plays as well as Super Mario Kart. I think Super Mario Kart has better controls in this game. I don't know, the controls in this game just feel a little bit too loose, squirrely. You feel like your cart has like not enough grip. Expert, novice, expert. I don't know what this means. We'll try both. Split screen, box, wide. Oof. Number of laps. Cars in practice. Micro mode, isometric, flat. What? Control, edit a custom cup. So we'll keep the driving model on expert. Game mode at normal. And we'll do a head-to-head. So yeah, here's your selection of racial stereotypes. So you've got your you can use the shoulder buttons to change your colour if you want to. So here's your Middle Eastern man. Here's Frankenstein. Here's, oh dear. here's your African stereotype. Here's your British stereotype. Just a thug, a skinhead. This guy's like I guess an American stereotype. Here's your sexist stereotype. Here's your German stereotype. Here's your Asian stereotype. Good stuff. Well, since you know we're here, we might as well. Okay. I think his name is Biff. This is quite good. You get this like track preview viewer. So you hold down the Z button, it takes away the graphics, you can get like a look at what the track looks like a nice aerial view. That's neat. You can view the track by pressing the C button. And each character has 3 tracks. There's an easy one, a medium one, and a difficult one. Let's just go with that. So as you can see, the gameplay is pretty much just Mario Kart, but with different mechanics. So I picked up a bomb. The bomb is slowly ticking down unless I can get close to another racer and hit them, which I'm not going to do. You can at any time hit either the left or right shoulder buttons to perform a melee attack. but landing the melee attacks is a little bit tricky. Oh, cool. I don't know why, but hitting both shoulders at the same time causes you to shrink. I don't know what that does. I don't know what the point of that is. C button activates a boost. And I win. There's a nice like cloud layer effect on the road where like the shadows of the clouds overhead are layered on top of the track. I think that's a nice effect. I think visually this game looks fine. I think all the characters have at least one unique ability, I believe. I don't know what they are. Let's load up Frank's first track. It's a full race. A full race of 8 cars. Okay, past the bomb. I'm 8th. Doing terribly. I just don't feel like the handling in this game is especially good. Even compared to the original Mario Kart, which is not the best handling in the world, but it controls a hell of a lot better than this game does. Oh my god, you just get caught on corners all the time, which is very annoying. I keep missing that shortcut and it's costing me. No, got caught on the building. Excellent. Okay, got it. Fourth, I'll take it. Yeah, it just doesn't feel great. It's yeah, the I don't know if it's because the tracks are too cramped or because your racer is too. Your racer is I don't know, the handling is too loose. Let's try changing the driving model to novice. See what that does. See if that changes the see if that changes the feel of the handling. Oof. Yeah, it might just be because the tracks are just too cramped. I feel like you have more room to move in Super Mario Kart than you do. constantly surrounded by buildings or fences or other obstructions. Okay, I'm going to say that the quote-unquote novice driving model does make the game feel less squirrely. Gives you a much more responsive feel to the controls. There's less variety to the attacks as well. I think you have like one non-melee attack or projectile attack compared to the dozen or so in Mario Kart. Inclusion of the bombs is like a standard thing that affects everyone. It's just a hazard to be avoided is kind of annoying, I think. I don't think the character designs are particularly good. I don't think they've aged well at all. But, oh well. Let's try micro mode. Let's see what micro mode is about. I think micro mode pulls the camera up into the sky, and you're looking down onto the track. Yeah, like this. So you're playing from this perspective. B's accelerate. Which is, you know, it's an interesting idea. I wouldn't call this better. Just means her turning circle terrible. I think they turn off your melee attacks in this mode, so you can't hit people. Second. That's, you know, silly. Hang on, let's go back to options and let's change micro mode to flat. Try that again, see what flat does to micro mode. Hang on, music is kind of loud. I'm turning it down a bit. Let's go to -5 decibels. Oh, I see. Flat doesn't... Okay. It's still at an angle, but it's not a... I see. The camera isn't angled. It's just... I mean, it is angled, but it's angled at a more flat angle to the track than it was before. Oh, god damn it. Doing very well. Caught on a corner. Excellent. Always good to be caught in corners. Yeah, it just doesn't... Yeah. I feel like this game just doesn't control as well as Super Mario Kart does. Like the game, I think, like, stylistically, the game looks pretty good. No, sorry, not stylistically, technically. The game on a technical level looks pretty good, and it's nice that it runs at a nice high frame rate. Oh my god, get off. My turning circle so massive, I don't understand. Third, I'll take it. Yeah, it's neat. It's a neat little thing that I think is unfortunately not as good as it could have been. Primarily due to its, I don't know, just the handling is not where it needs to be. Handling is not where it needs to be. Let's try Rumble. This is this game's version of Battle Mode. Objective of the Rumble is to knock into other racers and try to knock them out of the arena. As people run into the edge of the arena, the barriers on the outside of the arena begin to fall down. And when the barriers on the outside of the arena are completely gone, you are at risk of falling outside. You can strategically, intentionally knock into barriers to cause them to go down faster. This. That's the only way to get knocked out, basically. Okay, that barrier has been completely removed. It is now a danger. Lower some more of these barriers. So you can try and avoid the bombs, or you can intentionally pick up the bomb and try to pass it to another racer to try and get them to fly out of the ring. Okay, after a certain amount of time, all of the barriers will just drop. Okay, that's... Oof. Okay, we lost a guy. Uh-oh. Okay. No. I'm out. I lost control. Anyway, that's this game's equivalent of a battle mode. It's not very good. I'm interested in looking at the 8-player split screen, so if you give me a moment, let me set that up. Okay, so here's the thing. I have quite a lot of Saturn controllers, but I only have one 6-player adapter. This is the standard Sega Saturn 6-player controller port adapter. It allows you to plug 6 controllers into a single controller port. If you have 2 of these things, that means you can have a maximum of 12 controllers attached. Very few Sega Saturn games allow you to have more than 6 players simultaneously, so it's not super worth it, but there are some very, very high-profile games that do make great use of, shall we say, 10-player simultaneous multiplayer. But this game only supports a maximum of 8 players. So, let's go. I'm going to leave this controller plugged into controller port 1. The 6-player adapter is plugged into controller port 2. Into that adapter, I'm going to plug my 3D pad. I'm going to plug a...
Look out! Here we go!
Another Model 2 style pad. This one's got a weird joystick attachment on the front that I put on there. I like to call it the Sega Saturn strap-on, for obvious reasons. I'll plug that one in. What's this? This is a second 3D pad. I have 3 of these. Plug that in. It's going to get very crowded very quickly on this desk. I'm going to plug in this fucking hideous third-party controller. Look at this piece of shit. Look at that nonsense. What is that? I think I bought that as a just pure curiosity. Couldn't believe someone could put out a controller that was so ugly as that. I'll let you look at that one more time. There it is. That's what it looks like. It's hideous. What have we got here? We have a Model 1 controller, which I am personally not a fan of. Do not like the Model 1 pads at all. That's number 5. In it goes. And here we go. We'll use a Japanese Model 2 controller. My desk is a disaster zone of wires right now. Okay. I have 7 controllers plugged in. Okay. Hit start. Yep, it says players 1 of 7. So, even though we've only got 7 controllers plugged in, it'll still divide the screen into 8 segments.
Look out! Here we go!
Seven of 7. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, now I've got to find all the start buttons. Okay. I'll stay as the sumo wrestler. Okay, that was player 2. Okay, that was player 4. was player 5. That was player 6, and that's player 7. Okay, where's the other one? Hang on. Where's player 3? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Oh, it's this one. There we go. This is nonsense. Could you imagine the logistics of this, having this many people in one room, all tethered via wired controllers to one console? Nonsense. So this is what 8-player split screen looks like. Look at this nonsense. So because there are 8 races in a race, one of the races is still CPU controlled. But look at this. Look at how tiny your slither of screen is. It also seems that if you have this many players at once, the game turns off all of the 3D models on the track. I like that the bottom right window is like an action cam that seems to be following the race leader, which is interesting. I can barely see what's happening. And you have to remember, like, this would have been played on, like, typically a relatively small television, about 20 inches. A 20-inch CRT. Imagine 8 people crowded round a small CRT screen, all trying to focus on their one tiny chunk of screen. The frame rate still holds up though. It's good that they kept the frame rate up. Okay, the race is not going to end until all the other races finish, so I'm just going to go ahead and press ABC Start. That's nonsense. What if I change it to wide? What does that do? Yeah, the simultaneous 8-player multiplayer is exclusive to the PlayStation and Saturn, I believe. No other versions of the game have it. I believe the Super Nintendo and Mega Drive versions max out at 4 players, and the DOS version, I believe, maxes out at 2 players because of inherent limitations of MS-DOS computers at the time. You could really only have 2 controllers plugged in. I think it might have been 4, because you'd have 2 people connected via parallel port and serial port gamepads, and then the other 2 players would have to share the keyboard, I believe. I believe that's how that may have worked. Alright, so if we change it to widescreen mode, screen division. Okay, I've got to do this again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. Let's go with her track. I don't think we've done her tracks yet. And this is only like 7 players. Some games support 10 or even 12. Can you imagine the logistics of that situation? Having 12 people in one room for something like, say, I don't know, I think some of the sports games support 12 players simultaneous. I think a couple of the FIFA games support 12 players. Can you imagine that? The logistics of that situation. That would be chaos. Okay, it looks like by selecting wide it hasn't actually changed anything. It might be a limitation to how many players there are. So what if I was to reduce the number of players? What if we said 4 people? Okay, yeah, there we go. So instead of a quarter of the screen, you have this incredibly thin horizontal slice, which is ridiculous looking. I don't know, would that be better or worse than just having a quarter of the screen? I don't know. But again, the frame rate is still smooth, and it seems with 4 players the game includes some 3D models on the track, but not all of them. So it seems to be strategically removing certain track elements in order to keep the frame rate up, which is a good thing, I think. ABC start, the only way to get out. Okay. But what if we select 7 and select Rumble? What does that do? Does that just pull? Jesus Christ. Okay, for some reason I thought that it might, I don't know, pull the camera out. But no, it also divides the screen into 8 tiny segments. Silly, but what about micro mode? Micro mode. Micro. Uh-oh, I've missed one. That one. There we go. Okay, there we go. If you select micro mode, then it pulls the camera out. Okay, that's a bit more manageable. Okay, this is like... Okay, you could play this like this. But again, in micro mode, your melee attacks are disabled, so you're limited to just using the bombs and just running into people. Interesting. Okay, one more test. Micro mode, but a regular race. What does that look like? handle this? What happens if you get too far away from the other racers? Oh, lame. It teleports them. Oh, okay, it does like... It teleports them close to you if they get too far behind. Okay. You've got your baby catch-up mode. I thought maybe the camera might zoom out a bit more to show off the whole... to show the whole track. But no, it's only gonna focus in on whoever's in first place. And then whoever falls behind just gets teleported next to the race leader. Okay, that's... it's not great. I would have preferred it if they'd handled it by pulling the camera further out so you can see the entire track. You know, play it like super off-road style. I feel like that may have been a better solution to that problem. Yeah, you know, this game's okay. This game's okay. It's not... I'm not going to go as far as to call it great. It's not, but it's, you know, you could play this. It's a perfectly acceptable Mario Kart clone, Super Mario Kart clone. All right, let me clear this shit off my desk and we will rank these games. Give me just a moment. Okay, I have returned for the final time. Where does Street Racer go on the list? I think Street Racer is a neat game. I think it does a lot of things. It's clearly a game that is prioritizing multiplayer. I think playing Street Racer single player is underwhelming. It's a nice looking game with a good frame rate, nice smooth frame rate, a full 50 frames a second, it seems, and it maintains that full 50 frames a second even with 8 players on screen, which I think is impressive. It is, however, I think somewhat a poor imitation of the game that it is trying to copy. Super Mario Kart is one of the all-time great kart races of ever. And that's because it has a combination of good track design, interesting weapon pickups, and good controls. This game's got decent track design, if maybe they feel a little bit cramped, I think. But overall, I think the track design is good. The character design is a problem. But I'm going to say even by 90s standards, Jesus Christ. And also, I think the item pickups are super boring. Like, there's nothing... It's like, okay, you have, like... Every character has, like, a standard side swipe melee attack. There's a bomb that you can avoid or pick up and pass to another player. And there's, like, a character-specific projectile attack that changes depending on who you're playing as. And that's kind of it. I think the stars incrementally, like very slightly, increase your top speed in the same way that coins did in Super Mario Kart. They give your, like, they increase your top speed by like 1% every time you pick up a coin. I think stars are mechanically the same in this game. But yeah, other than that, I think this is... I think it's a good attempt, but it falls short of why Super Mario Kart was so good. You know, it's the controls. That game just feels good to play, whereas I don't know, the standard controls in this just feel slightly too loose. Your turning circle is slightly too big. The tracks feel slightly too cramped. There's too much shit on the side of the tracks for you to get caught on. And the items are boring. So, but other than that, I think it's like a interesting multiplayer experience. If you can get enough people in the room to do a full 8-player race, that sounds insane to me. I think it's better than Virtua Fighter 1. We may have just landed directly on it. Holy shit. I think Magic Carpet is a better game. Golden Axe the Duel is a better game. KO Flying Squadron 2 is a better game. Nights into Dreams is a better game. Mystaria, The Realms of Lore is a better game. I think Space Hulk is a better game. I think Blazing Dragons is a better game. Wipeout is a better game. It puts it here in the low 40s. Not a terrible position. I think it is a perfectly okay video game with some nice, like some decent technical performance and insane multiplayer like component to it, like 8 players at once. The tiny little segment of the screen you have to stare at. If you thought 4-player like GoldenEye death matches were difficult to play because you have a tiny little quarter of your 20-inch CRT to stare at, imagine this. Imagine staring at 1/8 of a 20-inch CRT screen and trying to make sense of that in a crowded room with 7 other people around you, all trying to do the same thing. Oh, chaos. I think it's a better game than Sega Worldwide Soccer 97. Is it though? Interesting. Okay, I think multiplayer. If we stick to a maximum of 4 players, so you don't have to squint desperately at a tiny segment of a screen to see what you're doing. If we stick to 4 players, I think the multiplayer is much more manageable and therefore much more fun. I think this game in multiplayer is more fun, a lot more fun than single player. Would be a lot more fun than single player. In a multiplayer scenario, I think this game is better than international. I think this game is better than Sega Worldwide Soccer. Sorry. In a purely multiplayer scenario, I think this game is better than Valora Valley Golf. And I think in a multiplayer scenario, this game is probably more fun than International Victory Goal, which means it's our new number 40. A little higher than I expected it to go. I was expecting this game to be somewhere in the 50s and 60s, but no, it's okay. It's okay. Street Racer, you are okay. A little bit racist, but okay. A little bit racist, just a little bit racist, but okay. Okay. You don't have to play as the more problematic characters if you don't want to, if you stick to just 4 players. But you need to, it's a little bit racist, but it's okay. It's racist in a fun way. God, I wish I didn't say that. No, it's not. No. Okay, Jesus Christ, no. Cancel me. Remove myself from the internet. It's like, God damn it. I need to stop talking. I need to shut up. I need to shut up and stop talking. Okay. Yeah, it is number 40 on the list. Congratulations, Street Racer, for being the 40th best Sega Saturn game so far. Oh my God, that was a tough one. Oh my God. We are at 3.5 hours. Jesus Christ, I need to end this video. Next week, we have 3 more games. We have a light gun game. We have a tennis game. And we have an anime game. I don't know how else to describe it because it's not a fighting game. It's not a I guess you could call it an action game, but that's so non-specific and generic. Fine, we'll call it an action game. Whatever. Anyway, I need to end this video. It's way too fucking long. This is the longest video in the series so far. I'm so sorry. Thank you for joining me. My name is therealbluedragon. As always, I hope to see you again. Goodbye. Serious this time. Goodbye.